is going to go live quickly, so I'll start talking probably as soon as it goes. Welcome. See it actually. We're going to get started here in just one moment, so bear with us. Howdy, Om.
Welcome to our online Theta Healing session.
Great to see you all joining us. And for those watching the recording, we welcome you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us weekly, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific for our Theta Healing led by Anke. And Wednesday night, our 7 p.m. meditations, which I will lead. And Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific for our yoga classes. We are recording this session for those of you who have joined us here live. It's great to see you. We're going to open just with a little chant and get into the mood, if you will.
So chant with us.
This is engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of divine mother, my divine mother. Excuse me one moment.
Do you want some water?
I'm going to sneeze to clear that. Wow.
Okay, you want some water?
Yes, I'll have a little sip. Pardon me while I moisten the throat.
Yeah, and chant with us, because chanting helps us to get out of our minds, let go of the busyness, the restlessness from the minds, and focus on something positive, something spiritual. It already helps us so much to calm our nervous system, too.
Exactly. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, my divine mother. Divine mother, my divine mother. Divine
Divine Mother is all about unconditional love.
And the blue lotus feet, or what we experience here as we raise our gaze in meditation and withdraw all the energy from our sense perceptions and interiorize it to energize the spiritual eye, from which we can see the blue field, the blue lotus feet of Divine Mother. And like the lotus, of course, the roots are anchored in the earth, anchored in the dirtiest of water, the mud, and yet it rises above into the 1,000 petals of the seventh chakra. So what we're really chanting to is to awaken the spiritual eye with that chant at the blue lotus feet, the roots of the lotus of Divine Mother, which is the state of pure awakening.
And our focus today is the withouts. Sometimes we have these dual beliefs. We know how to love ourselves, but we may still not know how to live without self-punishment, without self-hatred, without self-judgment. So, a lot of people say we're our own worst enemy, and it's a strong word, but so many times we do something to punish ourselves, and many times it's in subtle ways. So deep down, we may still believe that we're a sinner, we deserve to be punished, we will suffer because of whatever we may have done in this life or previous life. So just because we have the positive beliefs doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have the negative beliefs. And just like Casey said about the muddy waters, rising above the muddy waters, do we know how to live without the muddy waters, And then, of course, do we believe it's possible and we deserve to rise above it and be in the light? So it's all connected, and I feel it's just very important to also look at what's still underneath that's limiting in any way, and that's sort of dimming our light, and then we can release whatever that limiting energy is. So then we can just be love, be light, and completely feel these positive feelings, positive beliefs, positive energies. Otherwise, if we don't fully release the, self-punishment and those limiting energies, we may not feel that joy quite as freely as we could. And the love, we may not quite feel it in a truly unconditional way. Maybe there's still a little bit, I can love myself or somebody else if, there may still be a subtle if, this person does this, or this person says this, or if I do this, I can love myself. So let's free ourselves from whatever limiting energies there are. And today is Sri Yukteswar's Mahasamadhi. So it was the day when Sri Yukteswar left his body, and he was Yogananda's guru, and there was a beautiful example of that. Maybe a little bit of Yogananda's feeling, maybe I still deserve to be punished, or I will be punished, I must be punished. And I'm going to share a little story with you, what happened. And Sri Yukteswar was totally above that sense of punishment. He couldn't even really relate to it. And he was all about unconditional love. So basically, there was a time when Yogananda, I don't know how old he was, but he was in Sri Yukteswar's ashram, and one day he decided to go to meditate in a cave in the Himalayas, and he just left. So he didn't have a conversation about it with his guru. He just left, and then after a short time, he returned to the ashram, and he felt really guilty, and he thought, oh, my guru is going to punish me for just leaving without even telling him. And he was I think he was a little afraid of that punishment. And deep down, maybe he could have,
His guru.
yeah, And I feel he had this, maybe this belief. Well, I did something wrong. I deserve to be punished. So it's interesting that even in those masters, they have those feelings too, right? And Sri Yukteswar was all about unconditional love, so he had absolutely no intention of punishing him, and he was more about just okay, fear your truth in yourself, and fear that love in yourself too. And I'm just here to guide you in your highest and best way, but I'm not here to punish you in any way. So that's a nice way, nice opportunity for us to think about our own life. What situations are you going through where you feel maybe I deserve to be punished, even if it's just a little bit? Or maybe I need to punish myself for something that I feel guilty about. So let's release that. Let's release that guilt and shame and, all these limiting underlying energies that create a little bit of this, maybe a shock in our solar plexus. Maybe we cannot feel quite as empowered and free, and and it's preventing us from feeling that unconditional love towards ourselves and maybe towards somebody else too. So take a moment, close your eyes, and sit in a comfortable way. You can roll your shoulders back a few times to open your heart, and then reflect and just see if there's a situation that comes up for you that you feel any limiting energy with. Maybe a conversation that you've had with somebody and it doesn't feel quite peaceful or clear or positive. It can be a conversation with yourself. A situation where you think maybe I did something wrong or I could have done it better. And whatever that is, just breathe it out. And trust that you no longer need to hold on to it. Doesn't need to get stuck in your mind or over time in your body. Sometimes those limiting energies get stuck in different areas of the body. Can even turn into dis-ease, really discomfort, and over time possibly even disease in the body if we don't let it go. So breathe it out, let it go, feeling, knowing that you deserve to let it go. And then place one hand on your solar plexus, your third chakra, about 2 inches above your navel. One hand on your heart chakra. And breathe into either your solar plexus or your heart chakra, wherever you feel you like to bring more energy to. Is it that compassion and that love in your heart? If you like to expand that, fortify that, breathe into your heart. Deep, slow breaths through the nose. Breathing with whatever you need. Maybe I deserve compassion. I'm worthy of unconditional love. And if you like to feel more empowered, if you felt like you were a victim, felt victimized, diminished in any way, you can breathe into your solar plexus. I am empowered from a place of peace. Compassionate empowerment. And then breathe into your belly through the nose. Draw that same breath into your rib cage and into your chest and heart. And slowly breathe out through the nose, chest, ribs, belly. Draw the belly in towards the spine. And continue this flow at your own pace. Deep, slow breaths. Filling your whole core with unconditional love and compassion, knowing that you deserve it. If you like, you can hold the breath at the top. And after the exhalation, optional, you can keep the breath out or just continue this flow. Choose an affirmation that's helpful for you at this time. It's helping you to let go of self-judgment, self-punishment. So rather than saying, I live without it, just phrase it as, I love myself unconditionally. I deserve love. I'm worthy of compassion. Whatever you need. Your gaze can be gently lifted to your third eye, your intuitive center between your eyebrows. One more deep inhalation into the belly, rib cage, and chest. Hold the breath if you like. And one slow exhalation, chest, ribs, belly, drawing the belly in towards the spine. Keep the breath out if you like. And then let go of this pranayama, this life force exercise. Relax your hands. You may like to rest them on your legs, palms facing up, to receive fresh healing energy. Just notice your breath. Notice how you feel. Is there tension in your body? Or are you relaxed? Not judging, not criticizing yourself, just observing. And center yourself in your heart, breathing into your heart center. From your heart, let's expand out. So feel that oneness with your body, mind, soul, your whole being. And then expand out, become one with the chair that you're sitting on or the sofa that you're on. Continue expanding out, become one with the room that you're in. Continue expanding out, become one with the apartment or the house, the building that you're in. Continue expanding. Become one with the town that you're in. Continue expanding out even more, becoming one with the state that you're in. One with all the states. You're becoming one with the country that you're in. Expand even more. Become one with all the countries, with the whole earth. Continue expanding out. Become one with all the planets, one with the whole universe, until you become one with all that is. You're one with the Creator, one with creation, one with all that is. There's no more sense of separation. And continue breathing with this beautiful energy of love and light, compassion. And from here, we're going to go into the group healing. So I invite you to say yes out loud when I ask you a question. This way you're saying yes to the Creator. I'm ready for this shift. And when you've said yes, even if you're muted, you're just putting out into the universe, I'm ready. I'm ready to release this limiting belief. I'm ready to receive this positive download of a positive, supportive belief or positive feeling. And then sometimes in the silence, when it's being downloaded, you may feel some tingling or a rush of energy. Sometimes people get hot. So whatever you experience is perfect. And even if you don't feel any change in you right away, it's still working. Just trust that. Okay, so would you like to know how to live without self-punishment, self-criticism, and self-judgment that no longer serves you from Creator's perspective?
Yes.
And it's in the silence, it's being downloaded into you that you know how to live without it on the history, core, genetic, and soul level. So it even works for your genetic line as long as somebody's not blocking it. Would you like to let go of all self-blame that no longer serves you either?
Yes.
Would you like to forgive yourself for everything that you did that you think you deserve to be punished for?
Yes.
And would you like to know what ahimsa, this non-harming, what it really feels like and how to practice that so that you can live in a non-harming way for yourself and others?
Yes.
Would you like to trust on all levels that you're worthy of forgiveness?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live without anger, without sadness, without grief, despair, disappointment, and misery?
Yes.
Sometimes we're so used to living with something limiting that we don't even know how to live without it. So these are really helpful, these downloads. Would you like to trust that you have the power and the right to let go of limiting patterns and choose the positive?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to continue to learn and to grow without being overly critical or judgmental towards yourself?
Yes.
Would you like to release the belief that you have to overcome something challenging or you have to go through a difficult situation to grow?
Yes.
Would you like to know what it feels like to be loving and compassionate with yourself and others and trust that you deserve it and others deserve it and you and others are worthy of it?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live without feeling like a victim and without victimizing others?
Yes.
Would you like creator's perspective, the universe's perspective on what role you're playing in in a certain situation?
Yes.
And would you like to know how to play the different roles in life without being overly attached to them so you let go of all expectations that no longer serve you?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live in a passionate way, being fully alive and fully invested in something, deeply loving and caring, still without attachment?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live without old patterns of self harm or self destruction and trust that you're whole and complete without these limiting patterns and behaviors?
Yes.
Would you like to release the belief that you're undeserving and unworthy?
Yes.
Would you like to trust, know, and feel on all levels that you're worthy and deserving of everything that's in your highest and best interest from Creator's perspective?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live your purpose fully in alignment with your soul and with the Creator?
Yes.
Would you like to trust that you have the right to live your life without self-sacrifice, without giving up a part of yourself or giving up yourself?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live without illness, without disease, also genetic diseases, and trust that it's possible and you deserve to live without them?
Yes.
All of this is also to give you ideas of what to think about in life, even if we think, yeah, I think I deserve to be healthy. I think it's possible for me to be healthy. But do you also know that you can live without being sick? So again, the withouts can be really interesting and helpful. Many people think if there's a genetic disease in the family, it's almost automatic that they would get it too. But you can live without continuing a certain pattern. So would you like to know how to still feel close to your family even if you choose to stop certain limiting patterns?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live without waiting for something bad to happen or waiting for the other shoe to drop?
Yes.
So now let's focus on the positives. So would you like to trust on all levels that you deserve to be healthy, you're worthy of being healthy, and it's possible for you?
Yes.
Would you like to be completely open to all new possibilities and opportunities that are in your highest and best interest from Creator's perspective?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live with love, compassion, and joy?
Yes.
Would you like to release the belief that you can only feel joy when you've accomplished something or gotten to a certain destination?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to allow yourself to feel joy at all times throughout your whole journey?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to make choices from a place of wisdom, clarity, and confidence?
Yes.
Would you like to fully trust your choices and allow God, allow the Creator to guide you and your choices?
Yes.
Would you like to trust on all levels that you're worthy and you're good enough to be guided by God?
Yes.
Would you like to know what it feels like to feel one with the Creator and also one with that unlimited abundance?
Yes.
And let's fill your whole being and your homes with Creator's unconditional love. Is that okay?
Yes.
Just breathe it in, fully allow it in, knowing that you deserve it. Try to trust that you're still strong and you can still be independent and empowered when you're filled with this soothing, soft, gentle, unconditional love.
Yes.
And would you like to know how to move forward in your life with empowerment, clarity, focus, compassion, and peace?
Yes.
Would you like to know how to live without the fear of the unknown, the fear of making a mistake, and the fear of the future?
Yes.
Just take a few deep breaths, breathing through the nose, just focusing on your breath. And then notice if anything else is coming up for you that you like to release or that you like to allow in a positive way. One thing that's coming up is, would you like to know how to be compassionate and understanding towards family members and people around you without being taken advantage of and being taken for granted?
Yes.
And breathe in whatever you need at this time. Just more self-love, self-compassion, gratitude, patience, whatever you need. Breathe out whatever you like to let go of. And if nothing limiting is coming up, then breathe out unconditional love and share it with everybody. And then slowly come back into your heart center. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes. I like to stretch up your arms. And whenever you feel ready, you can slowly come back to the space. Still focusing on love and compassion for yourself and others. Whenever you like, you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Yeah, so just because we know how to live, we know how to be happy, doesn't necessarily mean we know how to live without pain or without misery. So always good to look at the width, the positive energies, and also making sure we know how to live without the limiting ones, so we don't have the dual beliefs and the dual reality where sometimes we feel really uplifted and happy, and then at other times we just feel like we're living in this misery. So nice to keep that balance as much as possible. So thank you so much for joining us. Drink some water to flush out all the energies that we shifted. And yeah, be gentle and loving with yourself and others. Create a beautiful rest.